Welcome to Ekhon TV. Today we are with a very interesting and enterprising personality. He is Mathanmi Hungyo. He is a social entrepreneur and is a founder of Recognize, Rise and Empower Association. So Mathanmi, thank you so much for meeting us.
And thank you for having me here.
Yes, and so first of all, tell us something about yourself.
First of all, I would identify myself as a professional social worker. So I have completed my master's in Delhi School of Social Work. After that, I didn't take my placement. I didn't continue for my further studies. I came back and started my own work here. So the work that I'm doing, it's a non-profit organization, and it's registered under Companies Act 2013. So it's a Section 8 company. So yeah, basically that's a brief overview of the work that I'm doing and the organization that I'm doing. And touching on the personal side a little bit, details. I am from Ningcho village, which is now a part of Kamjong district. It's under Kamjong subdivision. So it's near the border also. And again, coming back to most of the work, again focus mostly in Kamjong district is also again because of where I come from. And we came to Imphal around 1967. Then we have been settling here, and after that my parents has been posted in different parts of the state. But my education, everything has been done from Imphal. After that I was in Shillong for my 11th, 12th. After that I was in Delhi University. And finally my master's I did it from Delhi School of Social Work.
Okay, that's a very elaborate introduction you have given us. And so you are involved in a full-time social work. Can you tell the organization that you're working for?
I'll just start with how it started. I think that will give more understanding of the work that I do also. So when I was in my master's, I've always thought of going back home and starting. And then my partner, that time we discussed a lot about how should we start, how should we, in what to register, whether to register in a society, whether to register in a non-profit organization. But the deliberation had started when I was in final year. And that time I was also the General Secretary of Tangkol Student Union. I think that played a huge role in me coming back here also, because of the service that was given now, because of the interaction with my own community. So after that, we registered it 2017. So 2017, the ROC is in Shillong. So non-profit, it's like a company. It's under a company, but it's a non-profit. And we started our work mainly focusing on women. But after that, we did a research of around 40 villages. When we were doing the research, we started identifying what is the immediate need, what can be the immediate need. Then we realized that the school system has to be tapped in, because all the government schools were failing. Private schools, the kids in the area were not having livelihood of, their parents were not having livelihood of even 100 rupees. And they were trying to send their kids to the private school. So we thought that government schools should be strengthened, and this has to be looked upon. That's why the whole deliberation came out, and how we started working with children. And women, again, maternal health, we have done a comprehensive research on that. And we are planning afterwards to work with women also. But for now, we thought that the immediate need is our children, which is our future generation. So I think that comes the point why we are working with children now.
Okay. So the name of your organization is Recognize, Rise and Empower, right? So what is the main objective of your organization? Can you briefly tell us about it?
I'll just briefly tell about the name also. Recognize, why we said recognize is because we have to recognize individuals. If we don't recognize individuals, then it becomes a problem of what we can do with individuals, the relationships that can be formed, or what do we expect from the individual also. So after recognizing, we thought that we have to rise the individual. So we have to make them rise. We have to, if they are in oppression, if they are in poverty, we'll have to think of some, or if they are having very low levels of learning levels, we thought that we have to make them rise from that level. And then after rising, we'll have to empower them. How do we empower them? Through different methodologies. And then the whole process of Recognize, Rise and Empower Association means all of this coming together and forming a chain and ripple effect, so that it goes to the other regions also. That was the whole purpose. And the name, I mean, we have had lots of criticism also telling that this is wrong, this is very long, this and that. But I think the whole meaning has give us the foundation, the base of making us realize and always look back why we started, the whole purpose. So I think that has played a big role. And the association, like I said, it's a Section 8 company, and then our main focus is on health, it's on livelihood, it's on education, and it's on sports, and lastly it's on sustainable development. Why we are taking a holistic approach is because we cannot just work on health. Once we work on health, education is also lagging behind, and nobody is working on education. Livelihood is again lagging behind, sports is also lagging behind, and all of these are interconnected. And lastly, why sustainable development? Because whatever development that we are taking up, if it's not sustainable, then it's all pointless again. So that is the whole understanding and then the whole belief of why we are setting up this association.
So where is your work based, the actual work?
Okay, our office is in Imphal. Why we kept Imphal is also, it's better, especially in place like Manipur, better communication, that. And again, most of our work we have been focusing in Kamjong district. Kamjong district, especially in Kamjong subdivision and then Kasom subdivision, because these two subdivisions are one of the most underdeveloped subdivisions in the whole state in itself also. So we have been working in health as well as primarily in education. These two sectors are where we are giving more focus. So again, why Kamjong district? Other than the underdeveloped district, it's near to the border. The border is very porous, and then it's right beside the Golden Triangle. So lots of inflows of drugs. There's huge armed conflict business that is going on. So many other things are there. So I think that is why we thought that the need is there. So yeah, for now, Kamjong subdivision as well as Kasom subdivision is our primary focus area.
Okay. So your work entails research work as well.
Yes.
So through this research work, what have you found? What kind of problem, social problem you have found?
So one is we have done a socio-economic research on the whole Kamjong subdivision, and one was on maternal health, which was done by a doctor from Amity University, an MPH student, and one we have done for the whole Trans-Asian Railway Network, which is in Noni district. So coming back one by one to the research, when we did a socio-economic research in Kamjong subdivision, we found that, especially again coming back to the specifics, like in menstrual health, we found that most of our girls are not using sanitary pads. Most of them are using just dirty clothes, and again they cannot afford it. So the sustainability as well as the affordability, that is a huge problem, and again that affects in their health in itself. And the nearest CHC, the community health center, is in Kamjong, which has been upgraded to district hospital. But again, even for maternity ward, they don't have any equipments except the most basic one. So it becomes very hard. It's a huge challenge. So accessibility is not there in terms of health. So that is one big issue. In terms of school, most of the schools are all non-functional, because again most of the teachers are not coming to the schools, and again there are lots of proxy teachers, this and that. So that also we have found. And then there is no livelihood activity. There's not even a livelihood activity of 200 rupees. Okay. So that is a big problem. So these are the small findings that we had. And again in maternity health research was done mostly focusing on whether they are availing the schemes that are being provided through the district hospitals and the PHCs. And we realized that none of the women are aware of the schemes, maybe lack of outreach programs or anything. And again, most of them prefer not to go to the hospital for childbirth, especially in our region. So that is one finding. Again, one finding, I'll just give a brief overview. Another finding of that this whole Trans-Asian Railway Network in Noni, more than 40 tunnels has been dug. There has been no impact assessment. Now it's like a disaster that is going to happen. There is no policy. There is no concrete framework like how it's going to be afterwards. So the target is 2022, and it's a huge challenge for them also. So I think the small research that we done, we have submitted to district administration. They have taken note also. So hopefully there will be more deliberation on all this research that we have found out. And then again, most of our projects will be taken up from this research. For now, we have been focusing on research and then the small gap filling programs that we can do. But the real work, it has not started.
Okay. So you have done most of the major, research, but have you seen any outcome out of that research?
Yeah. So we have launched a RREA fellowship program where we have recruited the best student from Delhi School of Social Work, where he had come and stayed here for 6 months, contract 6 months, and then he has been teaching in Kamjong High School. So that was an outcome of the research, the first socio-economic research that we did in Kamjong sub-region, telling that there are no teachers, there has to be gap filling. So it was an outcome of that. If that was not done, then we would have not launched a pilot project with the district administration. We launched with the district administration of Kamjong. So that is one result that we have seen. For other maternity and other health issues, we have been conducting health camps. In Kasom sub-region, we did a health camp for 13 villages in the border region. And again, we have been doing a health camp in Kamjong High School as well as the interior borders. So health camp is also again short-term gap filling. Afterwards, there has to be a comprehensive program, and then which we will take up in the coming days.
Okay. So what has been the most challenging thing on this journey of yours?
Challenge, it's personal also, professional also, everything is there. And professionally, coming back to the challenge, because we are again a new organization. So being a new organization, there's challenge in funding. There's challenge again to get our ATG and 12A, because again ours is a conflict area, which becomes a hindrance in Ministry of Home Affairs and this and that. And again, another challenge is the people that we work with, because there are many players, stakeholders, different communities are there, because it's a mixed community. There are Tharos, there are Nepalese, there are Tangkuls. So it's a mixed community, it's a different challenge. And again, there are mixed players because armed conflict is going on in the region. So different players are there. So sometimes, till now we have had not any problem, but sometimes there is some disturbance, the movement and whatever it is. But again, and we are always under the scrutiny also. And personally, the whole schedule, the whole workload that is been going on, it has been very overwhelming also. It has tremendously helped me, but it has also affected personally also. So health wise, and then again, now I'm still young, that's why I'm able to do all of this. I don't know whether after some 5 years down the line, whether it will still be possible or not. Because last year only I have traveled more than 200 villages. Then that also all by myself. So it takes a toll on your health also, and takes a toll on your mental health also.
What motivates you to do such grueling work, and what's keeping you going?
The motivation, I think, again, it comes back to the whole sense of community that you have been given to you, because the society that we live in, the community gives you a lot. So when you started realizing that, once we start realizing that, then we feel the need to give back to the community also, to give back. Again, when you go back and then you see a young child not able to access to proper health, and not able to access to education, whereas here everything is being spoon-fed, that also they still don't want. I think that motivates me, thinking that I will at least make sure that each and every child have access to equity education, have access to equity in healthcare service. So I think that keeps going, because ultimately I look back to the vision, I look back to the name of the organization, why we started, what is the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to elevate them, the whole purpose is to empower them. So that plays a big role. And motivation, family is one big role, which has played a huge role. Our friends and the social capital that we have, because we have friends working, many good friends working in the whole development sector. All the positive vibes, they are also saying that we are doing this, we are also saying we are doing this, and the motivation and the support system that is there, I think that plays a very big role.
Okay, Kamjong is a new district, so I'm sure you're facing the brunt of having a new district with nothing at all. So What kind of role do you play in all this?
Many people think that it's a new district, so there must be so much of funds, but that's not a reality. We don't have anything. Now, it becomes hard also saying that because again there are no proper offices. That's why again for administrators also to come and say it's a challenge. Again, hospital there are no equipments, proper equipment. So for a specialist to come, if he or she has also no learning there, and if it's just wasting the time, then they also don't want to come, which I accept that. But again, the whole point is we have to be there and then start making things work also. So I think Kamjong, it's a small town. It's coming up. It's opening its eyes also. So a lot of nurturing is there. But again, different stakeholders, different players are there who want to take the most benefits of it, which I'm a little bit cautious and I'm worried also because it might go in the wrong direction also. So that is there. But from what I see is, it has a lot of future prospect because now the whole Aegis policy, it's all focusing that side. And the nearest airport from Manipur, Homlin, is towards Kamjong side.
Oh.
And Chinwin River is there, waterways, roadways, airways, everything has that side has the facilities. So once everything is said, then I think this district should bloom.
So I believe that you love children,
yes,
right? Because I've seen a lot of pictures, you with the school children and motivating them and doing all those stuff with them. So what have been the most important or challenging findings among these school children?
One challenge which I also has faced while I was growing up, and one challenge which the kids are also facing is that they see violence every day. Violence which is not in literal sense, but it can be mentally also. Why I'm saying this is because day in day out they are seeing guns, they are hearing the sounds of firing, right? Firing because every night different armed groups will start firing at night to scare each other off, this and that. So every child also goes through that, and for them it has become normalized. So when violence has become normalized, then it's a huge challenge for the child to grow up as a normal individual, normal child. I am also a survivor of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's all about levels. The kid there might have huge level, way up level than the one who is in Imphal. But all of us are in conflict zone again. So every one of us has this post-traumatic stress disorder, which we don't admit, which we don't diagnose, so we don't know. But everyone has that. But it's all about the levels. And the levels, if we don't look into properly, sometimes they can react it very bad. So most of the kids that we see in the school, some are very disobedient. Some create ruckus like anything. But when I go and talk to them, they are the most amazing kids. Because there is some tension, there is some this and that, so it becomes a problem. So for us, again, teachers, especially in teachers, our teachers has lose hope on the children, which is very demotivating. Because they say that nothing will happen to them. No point teaching them. They will just teach whether they listen or not. They have given up hope on them. So that's a huge challenge. Because the moment we lose hope on them, we give up on them, they also go away. So constant monitoring and constant support needs to be provided to these children. So I think in whatever capacity I can, I've been doing that. But it's a huge task ahead, and I cannot do this alone. Everyone has to do it alone. Parents has to understand the kids, why the kids' behavior is like that. Teachers has to understand why their children are not responding, students are not responding. Class 10 student is not able to read and write. Then it's a problem. Because the basic competencies, learning levels of reading, writing and understanding, if we are not understanding of a child, and if we are just giving a book, if you are having learning competencies of class 6 and if I am giving a book of class 8 level, then it's a problem. So all these things I'm just trying to understand more and more. Now we are doing a huge research, a survey type on that, trying to understand the learning levels, at what level they are there, so that afterwards we can give them the right books, we can motivate them and we can give remedial class. And one result that we have seen was most of the students that were failing last year, when we did a fellowship model and we gave remedial class, they performed better than the good students. This was just catching a hold of them, nurturing them, teaching the basics, helping them, then they perform better.
Okay. And who is funding your organization?
So it depends on the program. So last year fellowship program, my friend's company Koktai Private Limited, they funded us amount this much. And then again small companies. Example, when we were doing health camps, this Mimi, you eat Mimi, right?
Yeah.
This CG Foods, they sponsor the whole health camps. So I mean small organization, and I've been very grateful, and it has been a blessing also that when I want to do a program, it's program specific for now. Program specific, then I have always got funders. And again for the grassroots football program that we are doing, we are collaborating with Tata Trust, and then we are partnering with them, so they have provided everything. And again district administration has always been grateful, and then they haven't helped us in funding, but whatever logistics or anything that is being needed, they have been able to provide us. So, and we have not applied for any grant, which I purposely didn't do. I have not applied for any funding, just for us to understand the depth of how much we can go and how much we can move it forward, the elasticity of our wheel. So that's why we have not this thing, but hopefully from this year we are gonna apply for grants and fundings, everything.
So how long have you been working as a social entrepreneur?
It's been 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, especially with my organization, as well as I'm doing other work also, which is on personal level. So this year only I have raised from the nursery and planted in saplings 40,000 of coffee trees, and then I'm planting at least 1,000 of avocados.
Wow.
And I have planted around 30 lychee trees. That is minimum.
Wow.
Right?
So that is apart from what you're doing for the students or for
and this
your
one too,
organization.
I'm doing again mainly for my villagers. So I'm making villagers a part of them, so that afterwards their livelihood will improve, and then I'm making a beneficiary to all of them.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What about your students, your school? What exactly are you planning to do now, going forward?
My vision, or I would say my plan, is to make school sustainable in itself. So the whole vision is again to be environment warriors as well as peace builders, especially our region needs a lot of peace. And then there is a terminology called whole school transformation. So I'm working on that, because Kamjong High School is almost getting transformed now. So I work on modules which work on whole school transformation. So what we did is Kamjong High School we are trying to make sure that Kamjong High School is not dependent on anything. In a sense, electricity, we are planning to solarize each and every room of the class, hostels, as well as for 10 computer sets. We are planning for rain harvesting, which we can cater to almost all the locality of the area through Kamjong High School. And again, we are planning to start this farming techniques differently in school, so that again they can use the byproducts, as well as the school can also have a maintenance of its own. And sports wise also it's going side by side. So again, making the whole school transform, and taking the students, making them take ownership, so that they will feel that it's their own school, and again making them learn in the best possible pedagogy methodologies, which we are bringing people through the fellowship as well as through the organization. So this is just the first school. We are going to expand it to at least 5 to 10 schools in the coming 2 years, government schools. I don't encourage private schools.
Okay.
So my whole focus has always been in government school, and each and every student of us needs to have access to public schools where it's free, funded, and then they deserve the best quality education. So that is the plan forward. So again, this time only it's a small start, but the school itself, we have planted around 150 trees, which is a start, and we have gotten an award from the government of Manipur for having one of the most eco-sensitive schools in the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's really good to hear you talk about your work and your life. And thank you so much again for talking to E-khon today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here, and I hope this will inspire other people to also work for our kids, young kids. Yeah,
and all the best for your future venture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.